On this week's video fishing forecast, we have our first Mako report, big weak fish on the South Shore and the East End, plus a few doormat fluke are starting to show, all here at thefisherman.com. The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners. The June issue is out now with some great articles. Fred Galafaro has an instructive read on using artificials for fluke. Captain Tony Gatto has a great blue water read. Plus, Deciphering the Tides When Fishing the Beach by Jerry Audette. This and more in the June issue. Sorry, no forecast from Rich Von Olin this week. He was swamped at the News 12 Weather Center today. Looks like the ocean will be lumpy throughout the weekend, with Sunday being the best day out on the ocean, with the bays and Long Island Sound being very fishable. The biggest fluke of the season was pulled from inside Jamaica Bay on Monday by Anthony Montefiore aboard his brother's boat, Catherine Francis. The huge doormat weighed in at 15 pounds 1 ounce at Stella Maris Fishing Station. It hit a gulp teaser fished above a white spro bucktail. Now, let's check in with senior editor Fred Galafaro.
Hey Tim, how are you? Hey, I'm out on Peconic Bay with Captain John Paduano and Lenny Torrento. We've been snap jigging some nice weak fish. There's plenty of bluefish around in the bay also. Friday was probably the best day of the week. John was out with Bob Antisi. The two of them combined for over 50 weak fish, averaging 6 pounds, right up into the double digits. Lenny had one the day before, 10 pounds, 10 plus. So some really nice weak fish mixing in with even the mediums, the 6 pounders. Those are nice fish. And some smaller ones starting to mix in today. This is Wednesday, we're out. Great South Bay also had some weak fish come alive over the weekend, the holiday weekend. Those fish were basically 3 to 5s, but there was some 7 and 8s reported and checked in. Don't forget, there's a 1 fish bag limit on weak fish and size limit 16 inches if you want to play with the yellowfins. Fluke fishing, still so-and-so. It looks like there's a few more keepers mixing in with the fish. Montauk has a lot of shorts and a few nice fish. Peconic Bay picking away with a couple of nice fish. And the South Shore bays and the North Shore, some pretty decent action, but again, mostly shorts with a nice keeper mixed in here and there. The surf is coming alive. Montauk inundated with bluefish, the north side up to the lighthouse, and some big ones, some up well into the teens. Also the inlets, the South Shore inlets, Fire Island, Shinnecock, Moriches, all the way back down to Rockaway and Jamaica Bay. A lot of bluefish after 2 years of very few bluefish providing any action. So that was encouraging to see. They're up in the Sound also now, scattered pretty much from one end to the other. And that's in the boats and on the beach. Bass action still pretty solid in most places, but again, a lot of shorts with some nicer fish mixing in every week. Some more and more bigger fish showing. In fact, there was a 55-incher beached in the Montauk surf last Wednesday evening at dusk on a super strike popper. That fish was of course released. We have the slot limit, 28 to 35. Everything under 28 goes back. Everything over 35 inches goes back. So congratulations to Skip Debo. That's a really nice fish, estimated at 55 pounds or better. Again, bluefish in the surf too. Again, some nice fish there. I got a nice photo of an 18-pound blue from Anthony Lombardo that was caught at Democrat Point on an Outgags paddle tail. And further west, Joe and Cheryl Kalo, they were in Jamaica Bay. That had a nice pick of bass in slot size on live bunker. There's fish in the bay, actually in all the bays, South Shore bays, clam chumming at the bridges, bucktailing, live line and bunker, and on top waters on poppers. Savio Mizzi, he called me from Montauk. Again, he said the rips are loaded with bluefish, but some nicer bass showing up. A few more keepers mixing in out there also. Some of the bluefish are huge, like up to 18 pounds. So a lot of good things going on for this weekend coming up. Try to get out there, take advantage of it. We've all been waiting. The party boats and charter boats are now running limited capacity. If you're going to sail on a party boat, make sure you make reservations. Almost all of them are requiring reservations to get on the boat, and you have to be wearing some kind of face mask. Tim, back to you.
The Fisherman and Gray Fish Tag Research is at it again, tagging striped bass. With the details, here's New Jersey editor Jim Hutchinson, just back from a tagging trip.
Yeah, thanks. It was the Northeast striped bass study. It's the same one we did in 2019. Our 2020 version was going to be big and bold. We had 6 or 7 tags planned, but of course COVID-19 came through. The tags come out of Washington State Wildlife Computers. So since they were shut down, we didn't think we were going to get any tags at all. Not only that, we didn't know how we were going to be able to get out there and fish. But at the last minute, Gray Fish Tag Research got in touch with Wildlife Computers out in Washington because they were able to open up, and they sent us whatever tags they can get. So on May 28th, we went out that morning with 2 of the tags that we've gotten. Now we're still expecting a few more. So that was Thursday morning. We were out. I was out with Dave Glassberg, Chuck Manning on Tie Man. So what we decided to do is we're going to do the afternoon tide at the Hudson, lower Hudson around the Statue of Liberty, same as we did last year. But we were on a line of good fish. Chuck was on some really monster fish the day before. So we headed out in the morning. We tagged a 46.5-inch fish. We left them biting amazingly. And when we did our upper Hudson, upper reaches up near New York City, we just didn't find them that afternoon. So what we decided to do with the second tag after talking to Gray Fish Tag was to come back out here and replicate this again. So the middle of this week, Wednesday, right before the rain hit, because the rain is just starting to hit now. We got in before a terrible set of thunder and lightning storms came in, but we did tag another 45.5-inch fish right now. So 2 tags are in. 2 of those satellite tags are in, and we're waiting for a couple of more tags too. So again, we've got 2 more tags coming up from Florida in the next week or so. We're hoping to get the Gray Fish Tag folks up here. We would like to go to the Hudson again. We're finding out, I think the bite is starting to improve a little bit. We were in between the moons last week. So I think there's still fish coming down out of the Hudson, but that would make 4 tags. And I think we might be able to get a couple more before this is through, before 2020 is through. But we're going to continue this. I mean, that's the goal, is to put these satellite tags in stripers every year.
Thanks for that update, Jim. From Montauk, here is Captain Timothy O'Rourke.
Thanks, Tim. Well, everybody's starting to get back on the water out here in Montauk, and we're getting some good reports. All the party boats are starting to get together and go. The Viking fleet will be starting running trips this Friday. Everybody's doing the social distancing, so it's a great opportunity to get out, and now you have plenty of space on a party boat to really enjoy yourself and enjoy catching fish. So come on out and support these guys. This week, Jamie on the Miss Montauk still beating away at the fluke grounds. He says it's still a little slow, but plenty of fish coming aboard to make it worth everybody's while. In the local kids fluke tournament here in Montauk, we have 2 leaders. We have Trevor Meehan and his brother Cooper. They both weighed fish this week. And then in regards to the striped bass fishing, plenty of diamond jig action out in the rips. Not a whole lot of keeper fish being caught, but there's more and more keepers starting to come over the top. Plenty of bluefish, big gator bluefish to keep all the rods bent and everybody happy. And in regards to the light tackle and fly fishing, when the weather's nice, some great sight fishing on the flats. Plenty of shots at fish. The water's still really clear, and the wind, it seems to have dropped out compared to the spring. Plenty of topwater bass action with flies and swimming plugs. So consider coming out here. Everybody's starting to relax a little bit and really enjoy themselves. And with the weather getting good and summer coming on, please come out and support all your charter boats.
Tim is back to work, and so are other for-hire captains and party boats. Here's a list of boats that are sailing. Bruce Bruce Morabito fished with his grandson Mikey in Shinnecock Bay, working the flood tide into the ebb, where they had fish on every drift. Ended up with 16 bass, including their first keeper of the season. With more from Shinnecock, we have Mike Dean.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, everyone. Well, there's a better way to get your mind off of how a lot of things are going on than to get out there fishing. And the fishing's pretty good around Shinnecock, all the way down to Moriches. Big blues are still around. Cocktail blues are basically in the bay and in the ocean. Striped bass bite has been off a little bit, at least from I've been targeting most of them in the bay. I did get onto the open beach and buy some jetties, threw some lures. Didn't really have much luck. However, 22 to 26 inch fish I've been getting caught on clam bellies. If you're going to go with that route, if you could use the circle hooks, we'd all appreciate it. The fluke bite and porgies is still around. Hampton Lady, Shinnecock Star have been out regularly with reduced crowds, face mask. You can make reservations online on the Facebook page. And the fishing's been pretty good with them. Real Deal Charters out of Shinnecock, also doing some late afternoon bass trips. They've been doing pretty good with fish, I believe, up to about 20 pounds. There aren't too many monsters around yet, but there was a 42-pound bass caught in the back bays a week ago. Just beautiful fish. Captain Pio on Instagram as part of the Bass Holes crew. So fishing's good. Get out there, catch them up this weekend, and have fun. Thanks, Tim. Back to you.
From the Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Al Lorenzetti with the week fish action and some info on the Bergen Bay Docks tournament this weekend.
Hey Tim, Fire Island report. The week fish bite is on down by Ocean Beach, up in West Channel. All those areas, anywhere from the lighthouse back to the east, seems to be working pretty well. And I had a nice day the other day with fish up to 7 pounds. Also, I just wanted to touch on the Bergen Bay Dock tournament, which is on Saturday, the 6th. It's a $100 entry fee being donated. That will go to charity. And then it's a $100 Calcutta for striped bass, $25 Calcutta for bluefish. And the way the bass is going to work, since we have a slot size, it's going to be the boat that weighs in the aggregate weight of 2 fish from a boat. The heaviest weight is going to win. So you want to have 2 fish as close to 35 inches and fat as you can catch. And that'll probably be a winner. Remember, all measurements must be taken with the tail squeezed, both for minimum and maximum size. So get in on it. It's a great event happening this Saturday, the 6th, but I think the rain out date would be the 7th. And the way it looks for Saturday, it looks like it's going to be doable. That's about it for this week, Tim. Take care, be well, and have fun.
Speaking of Bergen Bay Docks, they weighed in their first mako of the season. Ray Fasano and crew landed this 83-inch, 198-pound mako south of the Fire Island Inlet in 120 feet of water. Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious English choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you. Here's the latest leaderboard from the Coastal Kayak Clash. Be a subscriber to the Fisherman to enter, then build your points by photographing your catch to win this Old Town Sportsman Autopilot kayak. Check the card for more information or visit thefisherman.com. Joe Ben Savenga fished the Long Beach area from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and had a bunch of small cocktail blues on a bucktail with a jig strip. Then he tried Jamaica Bay from 3:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., where he found tons of bunker in the area but no bass eating. Then later in the evening, he made a trip to Demo on Fire Island, where he reported clean, weed-free water but nothing but dogfish. Wow, that's a long day. Now let's check in with Paul McCain with this week's Fly Report.
Hello, Tim. Well, it's been a really good week for the fly fishing community. First of all the guides are allowed to take back their clients. They're allowed to start working again, which is really terrific, which is also good because there's a lot of fish around. There's a lot of bluefish. There's a lot of stripers. There's an incredible amount of fishing. It really has been pretty good. I actually went out Thursday night, ran a trip. We had a terrific time. Some bluefish, small stripers to a local beach. Then I decided to come here with a good friend of mine, Norm, and my son, and we are out at Blydenburg. We decided to do some bluegills and bass fishing, and it's been phenomenal. I had a great time. So, I mean, this is the time to get out there. Now, if you want to try fly fishing, go to my website, On the front page is my Zoom class, Introduction to Fly Fishing. So try it. Come on, join us this Thursday night. Tail lines, everybody.
From Oceanside, let's check in with Captain Joey Leggio.
Hey Tim, what's going on? Report out of Deb's Inlet on my buddy Sean's boat. Actually, Sean's dad. I'm sorry, Bob. Sean's dad's boat. Gotta give props to the boat owner. We took the kids out fishing today to the bridge. Lots of action. We had stripers, bluefish, and now we're in the bay messing around with the fluke. And we're catching some fluke. No keepers yet, but some nice fat fish up to probably about 18 inches. The reefs are coming alive. There's plenty of life on the reefs. And also the bass have moved into Deb's Inlet as well. I spoke to Junior. He did 2 trips. One day he had 4, and the second day he had 4 as well. So that's a good sign. At least these fish are moving in. He did say there was absolutely no keepers. Everything's over slot, and a pretty big fish up to 40 pounds. So that's basically what's going on in the inlet over here, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, Tim.
Chris Ludwig has this report with a cameo with Rich Von Olin.
Hey, thanks, Tim. What's going on, guys? So this last week, I started off on a mean cinder worm bite in the backwaters of my local area, and we had fish up to 30 inches. It was very nice. These fish were on the last 3 hours of the incoming tide to the top of the outgoing. And if you ever seen cinder worms, like these inch-long little worms, they just kind of cruise along the top of the water and the bass blow up on them. It can be eternally frustrating if you can't match them. Second, I finished off the week with our buddy Rich Von Owen from News 12. We were plugging the backwaters, and interesting enough, we did a little experiment. Rich was throwing a topwater Rapala that was like an inch long, 1.25 inches, and I had a Smack It Junior on. They would not touch my Smack It Junior. I got hit by bluefish only. He was catching the bass. So that was a very interesting thing. Again, same tide slot, and as you can see, I'm ready to fire here. I'm about to jump on his boat, so quite a last-minute report, but hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're catching fish, and take care.
Raul Ortiz, the urban angler, fished the incoming tide on Tuesday around Flushing Bay to soak some chunks. After about 4 hours with no bites, he decided to pack it in. When he was packing up his rod and gear, the drag screamed, and he grabbed that rod and set the hook for this nice slot fish. Raul is big on releasing fish, but this one ended up on his table. You've seen it in the news, fishing and the outdoors has become more popular during this pandemic. And Kale's Family Boating Center is ready to get you out on the water. Check out his Sea Pro powered by Suzuki. Low rates make it the perfect time to buy. Visit kalesfamilyboating.com for more information. Now let's hear from Hawaiian Dan.
Aloha!
My name's Kai.
And I'm Hawaiian Dan. It's officially summertime, guys, or the very late tail end of spring. We're out here early morning, about 3 hours before the flood tide. We're targeting stripers, maybe some fluke if we have time. We got to get back to the office. But let's get out there and see if we can't find something. We'll catch you out in the water. Aloha.
Aloha.
You're doing good.
Are you proud of me, Dad?
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Dad.
Look what you caught.
A fish, my first fish. I got my second fish. I got my third fish.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Well, friends, it was a pretty fun day out in the water because it's Kai's first fish, and that was pretty cool to be out here and experience with him. I hope that every parent who enjoys the outdoors gets to experience things like such, hunting, fishing, just going out and exploring the outdoors, and that you get to experience a bunch of first times with your family and friends. Striped bass are here. It's just really tough pickings. Not a ton of activity going out here. You just got to really look hard to find them. But when you do, they sure are fun, right, Kai? So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you guys stay safe out there, practice your social distancing, spread peace, not war. Spread as much love as you possibly can. Spread some aloha, make somebody smile. And until next time, I'm Hawaiian Dan, and this is my son.
Hi.
From TalkFishTV.com, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Aloha.
If you'd like to be part of our weekly video fishing forecasts, we're looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area, especially from the beach. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact me at libayrat@gmail.com. Remember, like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dreamboat contest and the Kayak Clash contest. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and more information. And please support our correspondents by visiting their website and social media pages. See you next week, right here at thefisherman.com.